Welcome, everyone. Today, we're jumping into a really comprehensive guide from Virtualization Options LLC. It's all about tackling one of the biggest challenges for marketers right now. How in the world do you use generative AI, not just effectively, but safely?
Now, before we really get going, the guide kicks off with something super important that I want to read to you directly. It says, "This tutorial offers general guidance intended for a typical organization. However, every organization is unique and requires training tailored to its specific needs. Please note that the guidance provided may not be applicable to your specific situation and is offered without any warranty." This really sets the tone for everything we're about to cover. It's a framework for thinking, not just a list of rules.
So the big question is, how do we get from all that potential risk to actually getting powerful results? Well, this guide lays out a super clear journey. We're going to start by really understanding this AI revolution. Then we'll map out a path to mastering it, lay down a critical foundation of safety, and then we'll get into the fun stuff, supercharging your workflow, and finally, future-proofing your whole practice. Let's dive in.
Okay, so first up, this whole thing is framed as a complete playbook. And we're not just talking about a few flashy new tools here. This is about a deep, fundamental shift in how you brainstorm, how you create, how you optimize content. It literally changes the entire rhythm of a marketing team.
And that leads us to the scale of this thing. This isn't just an update or a new feature, it's a full-blown revolution. Think about the shift from print advertising to digital. It's that big. It touches everything from the highest level strategy all the way down to the nitty-gritty of getting a campaign out the door.
And look, the impact isn't just a vague idea. These are real metrics from the guide. A 40% jump in time savings, tripling your content volume, that is huge. It's not just about being more efficient, it's about completely changing what your team is capable of. I mean, what could you do if work that used to take a week now takes a day or two?
But, and this is a really big but, the guide offers a critical piece of wisdom here. Generative AI is an incredibly powerful assistant, not a replacement. It can spit out 1,000 versions of an email, but it can't understand your customer's unique frustration. It can generate ad copy, but it can't feel the soul of your brand. That strategic thinking, that human intuition, that's still our job.
And that, of course, brings us to the risks. Jumping in AI without a solid plan isn't just a little careless, it's downright dangerous. You're basically opening the door to data breaches, privacy violations, and the one thing you can never get back easily, customer trust. These are the kinds of mistakes that a good plan helps you avoid from the get-go.
So how do you avoid those pitfalls? You need a plan. And that's exactly what this next part introduces, a 10-chapter roadmap. It's designed to take you all the way from just understanding the basics to truly mastering how to use AI in your daily marketing work.
And here it is, the entire 10-chapter journey. It's basically a blueprint for doing this right. And notice the structure? It's brilliant. It starts with the heavy stuff, the absolute non-negotiables, data security, privacy, protecting your intellectual property. Only after that foundation is rock solid do we get to dive into the exciting applications, like content creation, campaigns, and social media. We're actually going to explore each of these chapters in future explainers, but this gives you the whole picture.
Okay, so let's zoom in on that first block, chapters 1 through 4. The guide calls this laying the foundation. And you should really think of this as the final safety check before a rocket launch. These are the things you absolutely have to get right before you even think about creating anything with AI.
At the very heart of this foundation is a deep understanding of PII. That's personally identifiable information. We're talking names, emails, even things like IP addresses. Protecting this stuff is absolutely fundamental. It's the key to using AI safely and keeping that precious customer trust intact.
Now, to make that protection real and practical, the guide gives us this simple but incredibly powerful 4-tiered system for classifying data. And why does this matter so much? Because not all data is created equal, right? This framework makes sure your team doesn't accidentally feed highly restricted customer info into a public AI tool. A mistake like that could have absolutely devastating consequences.
So to wrap up these first few chapters, it really all boils down to two things: protecting your customers' data and protecting your own company's secret sauce, your intellectual property. If you can get these right, you've built the launchpad for everything else that's going to come.
All right, our foundation is secure. The safety checks are done. Now we get to the really fun part, supercharging the actual work you do every day. Chapters 5 through 8 are the playbook for applying AI in the real world.
First up, chapter 5. This is all about content. It shows you how you can use AI to just accelerate production like crazy, generating blog posts, social media copy, ad variations, all while making sure it still sounds like you, staying true to your unique brand voice.
Chapter 6 then shifts from just creating content to running entire campaigns. This is where AI unlocks things that were basically impossible before, like hyper-personalization at scale. You can tailor your messaging for thousands of tiny customer segments. And you can run A/B tests on a level you've only dreamed of, getting real answers on what actually works.
Then, in Chapter 7, we dive deep into social media. This shows how AI can be your partner in everything from identifying new trends by listening to conversations online, to managing your content calendar, and even helping you write on-brand responses to your community.
And Chapter 8 is all about making your email and automations smarter. We're talking about things like enhancing your lead scoring models, using AI to optimize subject lines for way better open rates, and building workflows that are intelligent and can adapt on the fly.
Okay, so that brings us to the final crucial step in this journey, future-proofing your practice. Chapters 9 and 10 are about how you turn all these new tools and tricks into a sustainable, long-term advantage for your company.
And one of the most critical points here is that this is not a flip-a-switch kind of project. It's a phased journey. You have to start small, with an assessment. Then you run pilot programs to test the waters. Once you find what works, you scale it up. And from there, you're in a constant cycle of optimization. It's all about evolving, not just implementing something once.
And really, it all comes together by building a culture of responsible innovation. That just means you've got to create clear rules of the road with governance policies. You have to stay on top of compliance. And maybe most importantly, you have to commit as a team to always be learning and adapting.
So there you have it. The guide gives us the complete roadmap, from security rules all the way to campaign execution. It lays out the how, but it leaves us with the really critical question of when. This marketing revolution, it's not coming, it's already here. So the only question left to ask is your team ready to lead it?